The third Assetto Corsa sim racing title is just around the corner, and now we've seen it in action too. But there's more to it than first meets the eye. Here's everything we know so far about Assetto Corsa EVO. Normally in English, we would say that this game is called Assetto Corsa EVO, in the same way we'd have abbreviated the name of a quick Mitsubishi saloon, EVO. But Assetto Corsa isn't English, it's Italian, so the proper pronunciation from our interactions with creator Kuno Simulazione is EVO. Also, it mandates that when it's typed, it's in all caps all the time. Perhaps this is just to underline the importance of the new simulation? To understand why so much is hanging on Assetto Corsa EVO being a success, we must dive into the financials. Well, we already have dived into them, and let me tell you, it's duller than a dry Grand Prix at Sochi. What you need to know is that the developer of all three Assetto Corsa games, Kunos, is owned by its publisher, 505 Games. It was purchased, according to MCV, for €3.7 million in 2017. So that's before Assetto Corsa Competizione, and after the console versions of the first Assetto Corsa. 505 Games, in turn, is owned by Italian publicly traded outfit Digital Bros. Considering that in its full year 2023 to 2024 financial results, the Assetto Corsa franchise was by far and away its highest earner, generating €28 million, that €3.7 million purchase 7 years ago seems like a bargain. The public nature of Digital Bros is also the reason why we've been treated to morsels of information in what was codenamed Assetto Corsa 2 along the way. As this is the company's most important franchise financially, it has been at pains to inform investors that a new one is on the way. Each report that's been issued over the past 18 months has referenced EVO in some way, presumably to entice stakeholders in the run-up to release. The financials will be Digital Bros' main measurement of success for EVO, but for sim racers, the base game needs to live up to the series' legacy. The original Assetto Corsa, first released into an early access program on PC in November 2013, then later on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, is lionized as one of the greatest sim racing platforms of all time. Its underlying vehicle physics prowess and interaction with force feedback steering wheel peripherals, for many, still defines the genre. The next entry, Assetto Corsa Competizione, was a spin-off, the official simulation experience of SRO's GT World Challenge, formerly Blancpain Race Series. That meant GT racing cars only, and tracks from that umbrella of championships, whereas the original was more liberal in its approach to cars and tracks. There was the small road-going Abarth 500 city car, all the way up to 1980s Lotus and 2017 Ferrari Formula 1 cars. It seems like EVO is following this path, with the return of licensed road and race cars in its roster. It will also ditch the Unreal Engine technology used as a basis for Competizione and be based on a new game engine that is completely custom to the Rome-based team. A 24-hour day-to-night cycle with dynamic weather will certainly put this to the test. Only, times have changed in the intervening 11 years, and consequently, EVO's roster looks to have changed too. There are electric cars such as the Alpine A209 concept, and even one powered by hydrogen in the form of the Hyundai N-Vision. Mercifully, classics are also set to be included, such as an Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint GTA, similar to the one owned by Kunos co-founder and executive manager Marco Massaruto. Note the old-school Mini Cooper hopping over the curbs of Brands Hatch, contrasting with the Ferrari 296 GTB doing the same thing at the Nürburgring. In the description of the latest game's unveil trailer, Alfa Romeo and Porsche are listed under a special thanks moniker, so it is perhaps not surprising to see a proliferation of models from these particular manufacturers. While there seems to be an emphasis on road-going machinery, race cars will be included. Note the current generation Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car, for example. The venues, too, are not beholden to the same SRO-only arrangement seen in ACC, although so far, only 3 have been confirmed. Those are the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari, or Imola, Brands Hatch, and the Nürburgring Nordschleife. We do think that the shot of the Hyundai Ioniq 5N is drifting around Fuji Speedway, however, so add that to the list as well. The car detail, both inside and out, looks to be spectacular. Clearly, this is a well-shot trailer, and we'll await final judgment when we see it ourselves, but everything looks to be recreated in exacting detail, and it just looks slick. We have amassed all cars and tracks spotted so far into handy lists over on our website, so if you want to see those, go and check them out via the link in the description. Perhaps one of the biggest surprises with EVO so far is a hint at some form of open-world exploration. In the reveal trailer, a Porsche 911 964 Turbo is seen cruising along what appears to be a public road, and then later on, a Morgan three-wheeler is spotted in a similar location, only this time, we also see a BMW M4 CSL driving past in the opposite direction. We also see this BMW parked outside the Devil's Diner, located at the heart of the Nordschleifers paddock. Of course, this paddock was already accessible in the original Assetto Corsa game, but this extra level of detail outside of the circuit itself could signify access to the world beyond the venue's perimeter, or maybe it's just a Gran Turismo-esque photo location. The unofficial modding scene has long been creating street driving areas using the original game's platform, and this leans into that subculture directly from the developer's perspective. It's something that potentially heralds a different direction for the series, not only by the inherent nature of being able to explore and visit areas around a track, perhaps stop off for a virtual steak at the Piston Klaus, but also speak to a wider gaming audience. Other hints of a broader car culture approach include mention of motorsport accessory manufacturers such as Bell crash helmets and OMP racewear. Perhaps there could be customization options for a driver avatar? And then there's the slogan, "Car passion is a state of mind and it's driven by heart." Sounds more like a car magazine to me than a race report. With this, we can't forget 505's last attempt at widening the AC audience. Assetto Corsa Mobile was an abject failure, now wiped from iOS and Android stores. Let's just hope EVO's driving dynamics are class-leading. Meandering around the Rhineland region may have taken a leaf from the community, but what about a possible modding scene for EVO? This is very much still a to-be-confirmed scenario. We expect this to become clearer after the early access period. For now, we spoke to the aforementioned Masaruto earlier this year. We are working on our completely new technology that is created in-house for EVO, and development is not over yet, explains co-founder and executive manager Marco Masaruto to Traxion. Possibly, we may create a light editor like we did for the original Assetto Corsa, so that people can contribute to content creation. Modding is definitely one of the open topics on the table, but no decision has been made yet. At the moment, we're focused on creating the EVO game itself. He said more too, and the link to the full interview is in the video description. In our own opinion, we'd like to see and hopefully enjoy the main EVO experience initially, and track its progress through early access first of all, before getting bogged down in a modding scene. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We mentioned early access there. For those not familiar with the process, the sim will be released through Valve's Steam store on PC on the 16th of January 2025. According to Digital Bros documents, it was originally slated for spring and then summer of 2024. However, we are not going to sacrifice the quality over the quantity or to meet any particular date, said Masaruto to Traxion. When asked if it will be ready when it's ready, the response is profound. Absolutely. Like the Sistine Chapel. When it launches in around 4 months from now, this is not the finished product. Through the early access program, the game will be initially released at a lower price, but in a work-in-progress form. It's likely that not all cars, tracks, mode and features will be present or even complete. Players will then see it evolve over time. It's a way of earning some revenue for a project that has been 5 years in development and gathering driver feedback to help shape the final version. But it's also a risk. There will almost certainly be a cohort of users who spot bugs, errors, or aren't happy with an unfinished project. It's best to reserve final judgment until later down the development path. ACC, for instance, was generally subject to a mixed response during its early access period. We do know that virtual reality for PC players will be there from the very beginning, and that PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S versions were confirmed by Digital Bros financial documents in September 2023. We do not have a timeline for their release, however, but we expect this to be after the early access process is complete. It's not yet clear if the console versions will be handled internally or through an external partner. For ACC, as an example, the current generation ports are handled by Untold Games. So there you have it, everything we know about Assetto Corsa EVO coming in early 2025. But what do you think of the information we have so far? Are you excited about this game? Are you pessimistic? Are you nervous? Let us know in the comments down below. Also, make sure you leave us a like if you found this video informative, and subscribe to the Traxion channel so that you don't miss any of our future uploads. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.